Okay guys, just imagine yourself you come across with this kind of question in a test. What will you do? So they say that factorize this thing completely. So when you factorize this thing completely, all the time you look for a common factor. That is the first step that you do. Then for x, the x you can't say it's a common factor because here there is no x. But if you can notice that a, it's our common factor, that a. Meaning here I can take a here as a common factor. Here I can take that a as a common factor. Divide that by a, because a is a common factor. This guys, it's a 8, not 9. So take that a. So when you divide the same thing they cancel there. Meaning here we're left with 2. When you divide same thing they cancel, but if they got different exponent will minus each other. Meaning this thing it will be 3. Here those exponent will minus each other, will got invisible 1. And say plus, here minus each other, you'll only got 2 there. Which is this one, it's your final answer for this question there. So this one, you can leave this thing as your final answer. Yeah. Here you can't apply you can't apply trinomials here. Just leave your answer like that. Then here's another question there. If you can notice here, in this question, you've got 2 terms there. Those 2 terms are separated by negative. Between these 2 terms, we got a common factor there, which is a plus b. A plus b. So it's will say this is how we will take that common factor there. Minus x2 and a plus b will divide with a plus b, divide by a plus b. That thing it simple means that these 2 things, they will cancel each other. Oh, before guys, they cancel each other. Start by put your common factor here, say open bracket. Meaning now they will cancel each other. Here we're left with 4. Even here they will cancel each other. We're left with negative x2, close bracket. Do you see? Then if you can notice inside this bracket, we got what we call difference of 2 squares there. Because here this one is our a minus by b. Here we got negative. And then we are able to take the square root of this thing. We are able to have that exponent, meaning we can apply difference of 2 squares. Just do open and close, open and close. This thing we didn't affect, we write the way it is. Meaning that we take the square root of 4. The square root of 4, guys, it will be 2 there. And now the square root of x2, we will have the exponent, it's x. Meaning here it's plus or minus there. Meaning this one now will be your final answer there for question. And this, you cannot apply difference of 2 squares because you cannot have invisible 1. And you cannot take the square root of 2. Meaning this one is your final answer for the question there. So I can come and do this one there. Then for this one there, if a key thing that you can do, it's better for you to rearrange this thing in this order. And say this one is positive 9x. Take that thing here, put it here. And now, when you realize this thing is a trinomials. That's why I rearrange it in this order. And a common factor here, you cannot take a common factor. We don't have a common factor for these numbers there. So this is how you will apply this thing. Since here, guys, we don't have 1. Here we got 2. It means that we will multiply that number. We'll multiply this number with this one. We'll multiply those 2 numbers together, meaning that I can say 2 multiplied by 5. You can even ignore that sign there. They will multiply each other. They will give you what? They will give you 10. Find the factors of 10 there. When you find the factors, I hope all of you know, you say 10 divided by 1. These are the factors of 10, meaning it's 1 and 10. Then divide that by 2, meaning that it's 2 and 5. Then if you try 3, it's not a factor, 4 it's not a factor, and 5 it's a repeating factor, which is 5 and 2. Then 6 it's not a factor, 7 it's not a factor, 8 it's not a factor, even 9 it's not a factor. So these are the only factors that we have here. So between these factors there, 1, 2, between these factors, which factors when you add or subtract, they should give you a middle term? Those factors are only these one, guys, these. Because 10 minus by 1 can give you 9. Meaning these are the good factors that you can take. These are not the factor. So this is how, guys, you will do this thing there. or before you do it, you start by saying that here, bigger factor, take the sign of a middle term, positive. Then when you see positive there, it means that they will have the same sign. So okay, now this is how you will apply this thing there. You'll take those factors, put them here. Start by writing this thing there, like this, x2. Take that factor, it's positive 1, and take that x, put it here. Take that factor, put it here, and take that x, put it here, and say plus 5. Do you see? This method, you only apply it if here there is a number. But if there was a 1, we don't use that method. We only do that method there. There's another method that I showed you from those previous video there. But if here there is a number, this is how you do it. You form expression that will have 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. And guys, if you got 4 terms, what do you do there? You will just take out the what? You will apply grouping here. So this is how you will group. You'll group these 2 things together, and you'll group those 2 things together. So this is how you will group. You'll group these 2 things together, and you'll group those one together. So this is how you will do this thing. Here when you group there, you can take x, there's a common factor, open bracket. X divided by this thing. That thing will give you minus x there. And x divided that, you'll only get 1 there, close bracket. And here you'll just put plus. A common factor here, it's only 5 there. 5 divided by this thing, it's 2x, and 5 divided that one there, it's plus 1 there. But guys, if you can notice this question, I think it got an error there because of that negative there. That negative wasn't supposed to be there. This negative wasn't supposed to be there. Here, this thing, it was supposed to be positive there. Supposed to be positive, even there it's supposed to be positive there. It's supposed to be positive. The reason why I say that it's supposed to be positive, because when you reach this step, you should see that these 2 things, they are still common factor, those one. You can take them here outside there. Say open bracket. All of this thing that when you divide with that one there, they will cancel these 2 things. You will only left with x. This divide with that one there, you'll only left with what? With 5 there. This is how you're supposed to factorize this kind of a question. And this question, guys, it is still trinomials there. Take note about that. This thing, it's a trinomials. But if here you got a number, you don't do that method, a simple method there. You just go with this method there until you got your final answer. So let me show you this one. What do you do for this question? Here in this question there, inside here, there is nothing that you can do. But when you check here, you got a common factor, which is 5. Meaning that this is what I will do there. I'll write this thing the way it is. 2. And that this sign, I'll put it here. A common factor there, it's 5. Then I'll say open bracket there. And guys, when I divide this thing there, this thing, it's a negative 5. I'll say negative 5 divided by this thing there. Meaning negative 5 divided by negative 5 there will give me positive x there. Negative 5 divided by positive 5, it will give me negative y there. Because those 5 will cancel, and this sign will give me negative there. Do you see this thing? Now, this is how you factorize it, this thing. And now you should also notice that here we got a common factor there. Those 2 things, guys, are common factor there. You can even divide by the common factor. If you want to, you can do it like this. Here, this thing, it's a common factor. Okay, these one are not common factor, guys. What is the reason? Oh yeah, it's a common factor. Here I made a mistake there. So here I made a mistake here. It's supposed to be negative. This. So it means that those things, they are common factor. They are common factor. So it simply says that this thing, it's a common factor there. Open bracket. And now when I divide, same thing, they cancel there. But if they got different sign, those exponent, if they got different exponent will minus each other. Meaning that will have what? Invisible 1, and here will only left with minus 5. Then close bracket. Then if you want to, you can remove those brackets there. Or if you want to, you can leave this thing as your final answer there. Meaning those marks, they will come from here, taking a common factor here and also taking another common factor. So this kind of question, guys, please take note about them. They are not easy. So now let me also show you this one. Here, if you can notice, this thing, it's a trinomials. But when it is in this form, whereby here it's B2 and here it's A2, this is how you just apply that term, which is there it's A2 and here it's B2. Then here you can, here we got positive, then here you can put positive there. The moment you see positive, it means that they will have the same sign there, just like this. And here it's minus 9B2 there. And all of these things, guys, we can even write it like this there in maths. Say 2 there. That 2, it represents that this thing, it's twice. And say minus this. And now if you can notice something here, this as well as that one, those two things, they are different of 2 squares. Because there, here we got 2 terms, and at the same time, we got negative, and we can take the what? We can halve those exponents and take the square root of this. So it simply says that you'll just say open, and close. So when you take the square root of this thing, you will have that exponent. It will be a plus b, which is 1 there, which is a plus b, which is also 1 there. Then when you take the square root of this thing, it will be 3b, and here it's 3b there. It's 3b and 3b. Then you say plus or negative. So this one, it will be your final answer. You can just leave your answer like this there, if you want to, or you can remove those brackets there. Then let me also do this one. Then for this one, guys, inside these brackets, you cannot apply different of 2 squares, because there you cannot have invisible one. But if you can notice this and that one there, they are in this form there, whereby here it's negative, here it's your first term and your second term. You can take the square root of this and you can have that exponent, meaning different of 2 squares, you can apply them. This is how you can apply them. Open and close, open and close. Take the square root of 1, it will be 1 and 1. Take the square root of this thing there, which is minus here, 2. The square root of this thing, they will have that exponent. It will be a, and here it's 1, and here it's x 1 there. So you can say plus or minus there. You can leave your answer like this, or if you want to remove those brackets, it will become something like this there, 1x minus 1. So this one will just be your final answer. But guys, be careful about this, because this will multiply inside, they give you this. When it multiply there, it will be positive there. So this when it multiply here, still it will give you the same thing there. Because same sign give you positive, different sign give you negative there. Here, different sign give you negative, same sign give you positive there. So you can leave your answer like this if you want to, or like that there. So let me do this one as our last question for this video there. This one is kind of tricky there. I think this one I'll just do it for the next video there. This thing is not easy. It will need you to apply K method, this K method. And most of the learners, they don't know K method. So for this one there, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 terms there. And if you can notice them, 3, it's a common factor. So let me take that 3. There's a common factor. This divide there, it will be x2, y2 minus by x2, y2 plus 1 there. Do you see? Then inside the brackets there, we can apply different of sum. We can apply a grouping there, because we got 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can apply grouping there. It means that we can group this thing together and we can group those one together. This is how we'll group. We'll take the common factor here. This divide, okay, that 3 there, it's not affected. This divide that 1 there, it will only be what? y2. This divide that 1 there, it will give you negative 1 there. Close bracket. Then for this one there, this is what will happen there. I will take this sign, I will put it here. Then I will take the 1, there's a common factor, open bracket. Meaning now our common factor will be affected by negative. Then say negative, divide by this, you will get positive y there. Then negative this divided by that, different sign there, when you divide them, they give you negative 1. Close bracket them. You see this one? So meaning those two things then are the big brackets. But here I take a common factor, there I get this. I take -1 as a common factor, I get that. And still these two things are common factor there. So this is how you will do this thing. This question is a long question. It's not an easy question. Let me write it here there. Say open x2, y2 minus y minus 1 and y2 minus 1 close. So how do you continue a question such like this one there? Here we still got a common factor there. So that 3 it's here then. Say open bracket. I can tell this thing is a common factor. Then say open bracket. If I take this, I divide it here. I'll only left to do it with x2. Then if I take this, I divide it there. I'll only left to do it with 1 there. Then I'll just close those brackets there. Do you see this thing? Yeah, and these big brackets, guys, it's unnecessary for you to write them. This thing, you can write it like this. Do you see this thing? And now here's another thing that you should notice. Inside these brackets, we got what you call difference of two squares. Then you can say open and close for only this thing then. Take the square root of this thing, you will have the exponent. Square root of that is still, it's 1. Say plus or minus. Then for this one, they do open brackets, which is the square root of this, it's x. Square root of that, it's 1. Say plus or minus. So this one is just your final answer for the question. Take note when they say factorize completely. This is what they are telling you. That's how you factorize this thing completely. So for that one there, I will do it for the next video because it will need you to apply K method. Yeah. Thank you guys for your watching. All the best.